President Obama is taking a glass-half-full approach to winning a second term. President telling campaign donors last night in Washington that his chances of getting reelected in 2012 are better than they were in 2008. Tickets to the fundraiser were more than $35,000 a couple, so probably made some sense to sound really confident.
Yeah, to make that $35,000 ticket worth it,
yeah.
Right? President Obama will be in Virginia later this morning trying to sell his new jobs plan. He's been looking more and more like a candidate this week, out on the road trying to fire up the crowds, and everywhere he goes, his new catchphrase isn't far behind.
Every one of you can make it happen by sending a message to Congress that says, pass this bill. That's why Congress needs to pass this bill. Let's tell Congress, pass this bill right away. Let's pass this bill right away.
Oh, we're hearing that a lot, aren't we? It's reminding some people of the old catchphrase, yes, we can. So is this the old Obama, and is he finally connecting again? Joining us to talk about that and the Texas swagger of Rick Perry, as well as Michael Maslansky. He's the CEO of Maslansky, Luntz & Partners, a PR firm that specializes in language and messaging. Good morning.
Good morning, Carol.
So when you hear President Obama using that catchphrase, pass this bill, the crowd actually starts to chant along with him. Of course, most of the crowd are his supporters, right? You hear it there.
Right. Well, we study the language of leadership a lot in our firm, and he is, for the first time really during his presidency, recapturing that language. He's taken over the bully pulpit. He's found language that is connecting, even with his base. I mean, he hasn't gotten his base that excited over the last couple of years, and so this is really working for him. I think it's a big opportunity for him.
I guess the most important thing is, will this work in Washington? I mean, will that make Republicans more likely to consider his jobs bill, just because he seems to have the crowd on his side?
Well, I think he is taking control of the debate. And one of the things that he has failed to do in every policy debate, whether it's healthcare reform or Dodd-Frank, is really take control of the debate. Look, we're talking about the Jobs Act. We're not talking about a stimulus. That's a win. They picked the right name for the bill, the American Jobs Act. This isn't the Reinvestment and Recovery Act the way it was the last time. And the conversations are about what Obama wants them to be about. Even when Boehner came out and started talking to the Economic Club yesterday, that's not going to get as much press. So I think he's got the ability to put pressure on Republicans with what he's doing in a way that he hasn't had really for most of the last 2 years.
As far as the voter is concerned, because he's so fired up now, and as you say, he's taking control of the debate, does it really matter if his entire jobs package is passed by Congress?
I don't think so. I think if he can get anything passed right now, it's a big victory for him, and he'll be able to go out to the American public and say that he pushed hard to get a jobs bill passed. He got a jobs bill passed. I think the reality is that most Americans aren't going to read the fine print. They're not going to know what was in the original bill and what wasn't. And right now, he's really trying to position himself so if anything gets passed, he can take credit. And if nothing gets passed, he's now made it clear that it's going to be because of Republican obstructionism.
Well, let's talk about a little bit about the Republicans. I want to take a look at some clips from the president and actually Texas Governor Perry, Rick Perry, because it's such a great contrast. There's such a great contrast between the two men. So we'll listen, and then we'll talk about it after.
This isn't about me. This isn't about giving me a win. This isn't about giving Democrats or Republicans a win. It's not about positioning for the election. It's about giving the American people a win. That's what it's about.
The liberals are more interested in job creation to expand government. Jobs are about families. Jobs are about families realizing the American dream. Most Americans don't want to depend on government for their livelihood. They just want an opportunity.
Both men are compelling speakers, and both men are likable in different ways. Can you point out those differences for us?
Well, I think Rick Perry is actually a much more naturally likable person when he's out there interacting with people. I think Obama's been criticized a lot for being aloof. It's only when he really finds these moments as a candidate that he can really rev up his audiences. So Perry's got that kind of natural charisma, and it works for him. And Obama, you know, he works it on the campaign trail, but otherwise it's a little bit harder for him. And so, you know, we'll see how that plays out over the course of the campaign.
Well, I'm taking a leap here. Let's say Rick Perry wins the Republican primary and he's up against President Obama. Does President Obama need to change his speaking style or his style to compete with a Rick Perry and vice versa?
Well, I think he's now finding his style as a candidate again. It hasn't been there for as long as he's been president, while Perry really has it naturally. I mean, the interesting thing right now is that Obama is really playing to the middle right now, much more than he's actually playing to his base, whereas Perry's really playing to his base right now, much more than he's playing to the middle. And so the content of what they're talking about is going to change, or at least certainly for Perry, if he wins the nomination, he's going to have to move a little bit more to the middle than he has been in many of his comments, and certainly during the debates.
Michael Maslansky, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.